welcome back to Jurassic Garage. This episode I'm going to be cracking on with getting the screen out of the Aerodeck, assessing the rust, and it's pretty bad. It's not good. Also, I've already filmed it, so I know how it ends, and yeah, it's not in a good way, but it's such a rare car, it's worth saving. I think I've got all the metal that I need to put back into it. So yeah, let's get cracking. I ended up taking the whole headliner out because it's just going to make it so much easier to do what I'm doing next, which you'll see in a minute. But yeah, look at that, you can see it a bit better now that it's in some proper light. So I need to give that a good clean up. I'm probably going to re-trim it when the car's on the road anyway, but it is in quite good nick, which is nice. Right then, I'm freezing and I'm pretty hungry, so I'm going to nip home, make a bit of food. I've got loads to do still afterwards. Headliner's out, and I'm going to try and get the screen out and see how bad the rot is. There we go, breakfast ready. Venison sausages, bacon, eggs, peppers, and a pint of coffee, which will go pretty well with my nice pint of antifreeze as well. Right then, back to mum and dad's. It's gone a bit cold now, hence the hoodie. Nothing to do with the egg on my shirt, so stop asking. I've got these to try. Don't do well at all with cold hands. So I've got these thermal work gloves. Hopefully they make a bit of difference. And I will find out in a minute, I guess. Right then, I'm back. So the point of this video is to get the screen out and sort of assess how bad the scuttle is. I know it's rotten, but yeah, with the screen out, I can see how much further it's gone. Right, so with the trim off the scuttle, I've noticed something interesting. It's all still wet. Now the car's bone dry. It's not rained. We poured water over it, but that was a few hours ago. But where all this rust is, it's wet through. So it's obviously trapping the water, and that's what's caused it to rot. But I'm wondering now if it's going in this top corner, running down, and just sitting between the screen and the scuttle, or whether it's getting in somewhere else, or whether it is just getting behind the piece of plastic and just sitting there. But that's definitely what's caused it. And yeah, you can see how bad it is. This is all just completely gone. And this corner as well. It's just... Look at that, what a mess. I don't know if it's had a screen at some point before, but that sealer there, it's like water's got under that sealer and just destroyed it. But yeah, this whole panel needs replacing. Yeah, that's literally what's been keeping the car off the road. And obviously the crack in the screen sort of originates there. So I think that's where the worst of the weakness is. But yeah, luckily, here's one that I prepared earlier. And it's absolutely mint-ish. It's got a little bit there, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not, you know, it's solid. But it's much better than the one I've got. I didn't want to get someone to try and have to make this, just because it's so intricate, and the screen needs to seal against it perfectly, so it made more sense to just get one out of another car. Local lad was breaking a turbo VTi to a shame because it was a VTi, but it was really bad underneath. We've had an absolute nightmare this week cutting this out. Took us about 4 hours of cutting. God knows how many discs in the grinders. And yeah, but we got it out. And yeah, hopefully, and got this bit as well. Now it started rusting a little bit on his car as well, but it's definitely better than mine. And there's another little bit there, which you'll see that I need when I get the wing off. Hopefully that's enough and it's the right bit. But that can be just made out of plate if not anyway. But yeah, right then, let's crack on with trying to get the screen out. Don't think I broke anything. Yet. Right, time for my mate Stanley. Right, so I've just sharpened this old steak knife with the grinder, and to be fair, I think it's working better than the Stanley. So I'm gonna just sort of crack on with this, see how far I get. Probably need to resharpen it again, but yeah, it's pretty good so far. Right, I think this has had a screen at some point, because this is like held in with some really nasty, sort of masticky stuff. Oh, it's like chewing gum. I have to pull that so hard just to get it to move, and that stuff's like not even set. But yeah, making a bit of progress. I can get the knife most of the way through, well, all the way through, most of the way down that side. Just started on the top. So yeah, quite tedious, but see how we go. Probably going to finish this tomorrow now because it's getting pretty chilly, but I'm going to carry on for a bit longer yet. Yeah, so it goes through. I don't know if you can see it there on the camera, but it is through. Gets a little bit stuck there. Got to do a bit more of this for a minute, but it seems to work. It's just really tedious. It's quite hard bloody work as well. It's my exercise for the day, that's for sure. Obviously, always cut towards yourself. That's with a sharpened steak knife. That's great. Don't actually do that. I feel like I'm going to end up putting the knife through the dash. Well, that'll really wind me up if that happens. So let's try not to do that, Jack. Right, doing quite well. I'm sort of 90% of the way down the passenger side, just the bottom corner that the knife just doesn't quite reach, because the dash obviously meets the screen. I'm all the way across the top now to about here. I've got this side. I've done some of this side, but yeah, the corners are a bit of a pig, and they're proper dangerous because, well, it should be fine. You can see it's through there. I've actually snapped the end off the knife as well. I thought it'd bend, doesn't. Right, it's 8 o'clock, it's going dark. I've left it like that. I've got sort of about halfway, to be fair. Gonna come back tomorrow with a longer knife because it's quite a big gap to get into down there because of the way the screen meets the dash. So yeah, tomorrow afternoon after the cars and coffee at Tegua, be back on it, as long as it's not absolutely tipping it down. Right then, day 2. To be honest, I've probably only got about an hour today. Went to the Tegua Cars and Coffee this morning, which was mint, and it was that mint that I didn't get home until about 3 o'clock. It's now 5 now that I've eaten and everything. So yeah, I've not got ages. I've got to go and walk my granddad's dog in a bit, so try and get as much done as I can. I'm hoping to get the screen out today. I've got some longer knives to get the bottom bit done, and yeah, if not, I'll have to go back tomorrow morning before work. So let's crack on, see how we get on. Right, that's the first crack. To be fair, I'm surprised it's taken this long. I have been using this, just sliding it. It was going quite well. It was sliding down there nicely, and then it just went ping. But yeah, I'm going to stick some tape over that so I don't get glass everywhere, and then carry on, I think. Right, that's it for today, I reckon. I'm going to have to go now, but it's free on this side, down to about here, all the way across the top. And then all the way down this side as well. Down to about there. So I've just ordered some like cutting wire. Should be here tomorrow, so hopefully get a chance to try that before work. I'm going to stick it in the garage now at least, so I don't have to put the tarp over it again. Makes a right mess inside. It's going to be coming out with vents for weeks afterwards. It's everywhere, like that. Right then, day 3. Windscreen's coming out today. Don't take my word for that. I've got an actual windscreen removal wire thing, and I saw this as well on Amazon. The photos seem to suggest you can cut trees down with it. I don't think you can, but if you can cut a tree down with it, you can cut some glue on the bottom of a Civic windscreen with it. So yeah, see how it goes, I guess. got it in the sun because as nice as it looks, it's only like 5 degrees, it's absolutely freezing. So I think I'm going to start here where the screen's out to, and yeah, try with that cutting wire, see how far we get. Hopefully not cut the dash in half. Fucking hell. So as I'm starting to make my way across, I'm getting starting to find it a bit easier for some reason. It turns out I'm pushing metal out the way rather than glue. So hopefully that rot's going to help me out in a minute. Don't know how well it's going to show on video, but the only bit of scuttle that's left holding the screen in is the rotten bit. And you can see, maybe, how much it flexes. Right, it's getting pretty close now. I am running out of time because I need to go make some food and then go to work, but I'm wondering if that's just gonna... that might just go, you know. Right, I'm gonna put the camera down and try it. Well, looks like the dash is going to have to come out because it's rotten down behind the dash. Fantastic. Right, we're free. Oh my God. What a crap car. What do I do with this now? I can't get glass everywhere. Right. I'm saying the dash is coming out because I'm not going to get that welded without taking it out, I don't think. Let's pull that off. Oh my God. What a car. Oh my God. Well, that's why the screen cracked, clearly. Jesus. Sorry for my camera work, I'm literally digging away while I'm filming. Right, yeah, so it doesn't go, hopefully it doesn't go too much further back. Right, success, screen's out and it's not completely exploded. So let's go and assess. That Don't ask about that, by the way. It is a genuine VTi. It's a little bit unloved at the minute, but I will restore it. But first it's going to donate some parts to the VTi-S. Right. That is not good, is it? Through there is the heater blower motor, so all that's going to be coming out my vents for well, forever. Yeah, it looks like it goes back down there, so I'm going to have to take the dash out, which I was hoping to avoid doing, but realistically it's going to need to come out anyway to stop it catching fire. That's definitely the worst corner. The rest of it can cut along this ridge, hopefully, and the new panel can go in the same place. That corner's actually alright, but it starts about there. It just gets progressively worse the further over towards the driver's side you get, towards the passenger side you get, until it gets to that, which is just absolutely rooted. I don't understand how it's got so bad when the donor car, which was actually rotten, the scuttle's mint. Has it had a, windscreen put in wrong at some point or something? And yeah. Sorry about that. James May just went past in his flying toaster. Yeah, so at least I've got the full panel. It's probably going to need a little bit of extra plate putting in behind there that I don't think this will quite reach. But that's not going to be seen anyway, so it doesn't. Well, none of it's going to be seen, but obviously the shape needs to be spot on for the screen to seal against. But down here, I think we can get away with making a bit of plate. Well, I won't be doing it, but whichever professional I let do it can do it. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap up for today, I think. I need to get some breakfast and get to work. Right, obviously I've still got to get the dash out, but I think I'm going to wrap this episode up here because it's getting pretty long. That's something I wanted to ask actually. Do you prefer watching the sort of 20-ish minute long ones? I think this one's a bit longer than that, quite a bit longer than that. Or would you rather me just make them as long as they sort of naturally are, which might be up to like 40-50 minutes or more? Or would you rather me split it into two like I've done with the last two? What else have I got? I've got a little rant. So it's really winding me up when I see people breaking decent cars that aren't, or they don't appear to be rotten. I'm going to all these lengths to save one. I think they're that special and weird, and they should never have existed, that we need to sort of celebrate them and preserve them. I'm obviously doing my bit. I can't save them all, and I know it's their money, their cars, their money, they can do what they want, but I mean, they're not making any more of them, and they are definitely one of the golden age Hondas. Yeah, they're a weird car. They're a boring looking estate with a limited slip diff, 8,000 RPM VTEC engine. They're quite sort of exotic when you think of it like that. So it's such a shame to just crush them for the engines. For some kid to chuck in a rusty EJ9, blow it up after a year and scrap it anyway. Yeah, I do think they're becoming a classic. They should be preserved. Like I say, I'm doing my bit, but everyone else needs to do their bit as well, I think. You know, you can't call yourself an enthusiast if you just keep stripping these and scrapping them. So yeah, next episode, dash will be coming out, and I'll be sending it off for welding, and hopefully I'll be doing burnouts and getting MOTs and starting to do mods. You know, I've got a set of coilovers waiting, ready to go on it. I've got an exhaust ready to go on it that I've had for 2 years or whatever. I do want to get it on track. Won't be straight away, but you know, it needs a few more mods first. I obviously want to track the Subaru when I can, but I want to make sure I've at least got a little bit of skill and ability to not crash. because I cannot crash the Subaru. That's just, yeah, that'd not be good, would it? I don't want to say it's like a poor man's DC2, the Aerodeck, but it's got some of the ingredients, you know. It's got the limited slip diff, it's got the B18 with the 8,300 RPM limiter. It's the shell isn't as stiff, obviously, but yeah, I don't think you're stretching the truth too far to at least compare it to a DC2. It's never going to be as good as one, but if I can get it to 80-85% as good as one, it ain't going to cost 15 grand like a DC2 does. So I think it's well worth doing. And yeah, it should be fun on track. Loads of stuff DC2 parts will fit straight on, EK9 parts. Some of that stuff I've already got, so it won't even cost me anything. So yeah, can't wait really to get cracking with it. And yeah, I will see you again in the next episode. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that malarkey. And yeah, I'll see you again for the next one. Adios.